Holistic.
That's Shiana. Hi, it's Shiana. Welcome to Who You Calling Holistic. First of all, why didn't anybody check up on me? All right. Thanks. Okay. I have a whole episode called The Strong Friend. Well, I know you guys see this person right here. We'll get into that in a minute. I have a whole episode called The Strong Friend, and nobody thought to check up on me. I'm okay, obviously. But a lot has changed since we last spoke. So luckily, I brought on a special guest today as well, mainly because the first episode I recorded, I was in here and it didn't transfer properly. So I already had this one scheduled, and I was like, well, just come on now. This feels right, and we can get into what we were gonna get into, and this makes sense anyway. So I'll get into some of the move and some of the updates on the timeline today, but also we got time for that because we're here now. So this is Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex.
Alex, welcome. Thank you for coming on today.
Choo-choo.
So obviously, like I mentioned, things have changed since we last spoke. The last episode we recorded, I was in South Carolina. I recorded with the owner of a salt cave. That's the last update everybody's had. I'm now in Chicago.
Welcome back. Chicago.
Did you say welcome back?
To Chicago.
Okay, well, yeah, I'd only visited, but
I know, but still.
yeah.
We missed you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I missed Chicago too. When I got to Chicago, I didn't have a job. I didn't even have like a job lined up. Everything was real loose, basically. Like everything was loose. However, because the way my life is set up, I got hired on the spot during the spring equinox.
Come on, astrology.
Come on, astrology. Also very on brand for just me in general.
No, truly.
And the seasons.
Very witchy.
So, which brings me to this lovely guest that I met after I got hired. So, Alex, their pronouns. Man, I've been having a time. I've been having a time.
But it's okay. I'm just a lovely butch queen. So
I'm here for it. Like
it's easy. It's easy.
It's getting easier, but like
takes time.
Yeah, but like I've said, like you're such a beautiful man. But it's like it's manly, but it's also like pretty.
Yes.
So
pretty man.
Yeah.
And that's why I say butch queen, because I'm not the most like femme presenting or anything. Most of the time I am not. But there are just the occasional times where I am, and that's what guided me to be more like of a they be versus strictly he. Definitely not a strict she, but
it works.
The middle ground, right?
It works. I'm here for it. So I met Alex, and we immediately clicked because I was like, oh my gosh, Capricorn. Hey, Capricorn friend.
Yes.
And I love a Capricorn. And we got into some of my chart stuff, and we talked about other chart stuff over the few months that we've known each other. And then I mentioned I had my podcast, and I was like, I know I need to pick a date. It was on my radar, but first of all, I couldn't find a place to record that wasn't like $300, by the way. So this was a blessing.
That's surprising for like Chicago. I feel like that would be an easier journey, because it's not like New York where there's all these influencers and everything, or like Los Angeles. It's somewhere in the middle, and that's why I feel there should be something like this. But you found that. I found resourceful.
Yes, that I am. And so we're here now.
We are here now.
And I was like, hey, could you have a look at this and help me pick out a date? Because I knew I needed a date, but I was like, I'm having a time with it. So before we even get into that, because I also brought you on for some additional support, which you guys are going to love, HO-Roscopes.
HO-Roscopes.
Before we get into all of that, what got you into astrology?
Absolutely. So I was kind of brought into a family that is more like spiritual and woo-woo. And that kind of set the precedence for me to explore other just I'm esoteric and just occult type of practices. And even though I feel like astrology is the like melding of like math and spirituality, um, my journey kind of started about almost a decade ago. Oh, actually, over a decade
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
ago, I was miscalculating. And it just started with me wanting to understand myself better. And, I just pulled up my birth chart and started exploring like why I had certain feelings or um just why was life playing out the way that it was playing out. And that kind of just started this deep dive of like, oh, there's this whole like cosmic reasoning or just a way to just understand it that is just outside of like, I don't know, like your family, because I have a fourth house stellium, so it's like I have this large focus on my roots and my family and like the women in my life and my parents in general because it's in Capricorn. So, um, I just always wanted to understand more.
Mhm.
And I would go to my family and there'd be this like these conflicting like views on everything. So when I got into astrology, it was like it helped me take the pieces that made the most sense and then picture a or just put it all together to make a picture that made sense to me and just aligned with what everyone was saying. So I then knew like what was fact and then what was kind of just like people's own recollection and their little twist to the story, you
Mhm.
know? And yeah, and that just led me to reading everyone's chart, you know?
Mhm. And then we've talked about like the difference in utilizing like Placidus versus
Whole
whole
sign.
sign, right? And you have a preference.
Yeah, so when it comes to just like general readings and understanding, I like to use whole sign because it's more just clear cut and it also shows people that they have all 12 zodiac signs in their chart. And it shows how those signs impact that person as a whole. While Placidus houses can be intercepted. So you could have your fifth and sixth house starting in like Aries or something of that sort versus like having Aries and Taurus. Um, so that's why I kind of more so enjoy that. But whole sign is great for predicting, and then Placidus is great for like understanding someone's personality and their more like intrinsic beliefs and thoughts and just what's going on in that realm of their world.
Makes sense. And I did have one other astrologer, astrologer and numerologist actually on the podcast before. And I had even mentioned to you, we were having a conversation about being in more spaces with more people who looked like you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it felt kind of like having a unicorn on the show because I was like, I have a Black man that's an astrologer and he knows his shit too. And I was like they exist, you
Yeah.
know? So, but it's nice to keep being introduced to them apparently. Like
Yes.
I'm here to highlight and help showcase your skills.
I love it.
I'm here
I
for
feel like
it.
it's so necessary to bring just different people together and show that you are not alone in this journey and I might not be the one for you, but there is one out there that
Yes.
is,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
But we're all brought here together today because we're all on the same frequency. So I look forward to that.
Yay. And this wasn't even planned,
No,
this outfit situation. So
blue is everywhere today, and I
it
love
is.
it. But it's also Monday, Moon Day. So I had to throw in my blues and my whites.
And I'm Cancer rising and you're Cancer moon.
Moon,
Yep.
yes. So
So
I love a good Monday. I was born on a Monday. Everyone else
same.
hates Mondays, but
Same. But I'm
I'm
usually off
like,
on Mondays. So
which I love for you.
yeah,
I
it
love
makes
that for you.
sense.
Yes.
It makes
I
sense.
need my Mondays off.
You do. You can make it happen.
No, I truly
You can
can.
make it happen. So before we get into our submissions for our horoscopes, I wanted to share because I was familiar with having predictive astrology readings for other events because I've even looked into some of that for my own personal chart stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me navigate with this. Let me not sign a contract with this happening and,
Yeah,
different things like that.
that's real.
And I knew that it was doable because I've even heard of people getting their Akashic records done on their businesses. So I knew it was doable for businesses and like abstract things to an extent, but like it didn't hit me until this year, obviously, that I was like, oh shit, let me have one done for the podcast. So could you give some people some insight on why this is the time to re-release it? And I was even thinking like not much about my podcast is changing.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm adding this segment because it's necessary and I feel like it's fun, but it's still very much like I'm still talking to the same people. My audience will expand, but the people are very much the majority are women. And that's even based on like my stuff, not necessarily the podcast stuff, but you pulled the
Yeah.
podcast stuff and it was aligned with that too. But it's majority women, 25 to 45, and they're usually going through some sort of shift, pivot, identity, career, relationship, something. They're either in the thick of it or like about to be, there's some sort of shift happening right when I enter their lives in some capacity. So, could you share a little more about like the podcast essence, basically?
Absolutely. So
Also, Alex can't stop looking at themselves on the camera. What?
I
It's
mean, makes
fine.
it
I get it.
easier.
I get
Like
it.
I see
Same.
you looking at me, looking at you, looking at me, looking at the camera.
It's fine.
But nonetheless, it also is nice to like see her because then I feel like I'm watching as the viewer.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
How do I look?
I'm wonderful.
Thank you. Perfect.
I'm mostly not even staring at myself.
Perfect.
Just every time she talks, I'm like, yes. But so October 23rd was a great day for the podcast for a plethora of different reasons. I can't even really just hone in on just one that makes it like great. It was just like everything in the chart was aligning for that specific day, you know?
And for context, I did say like when you were starting, I was like, I know it needs to be like probably October, November. And then you were like, well, let me look. And then I was like, ooh, what day of the week is that? Because I usually release episodes on Thursdays. And we looked and we were like, oh
It's a
shit,
Thursday.
it's a Thursday.
Come on, Jupiter expansion, because
Mhm.
she's expanding y'all's minds.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the podcast just she said no. The podcast. I hope I'm not blowing up their
It's
ear.
okay. That's all right.
The podcast just has a lot of planetary influence going on during that time. Like Pluto's transiting Saturn, Uranus, and Jupiter, and they're all just working together to push towards like greater self-expression and understanding. And for a podcast that is just built on that and that's its main purpose, I was just like, there is no better time than this. Because not only is the podcast just expanding and it just in a way working on itself and having that a development, it will also have that impact on those who are involved. So like watching on the podcast, in charge of the podcast, its mother, you know, it will kind of have that universal growth for just everyone involved. And it really just shows a lot of breakthroughs when it comes to all of the projects that it will involve, and just building these lasting just achievements and potentially just go as far as it's meant to go and as you are willing to like take it. So when it comes to this relaunching, it's like you're repotting it, right? You know, it's like it was in this pot and you notice it wasn't growing much, and you're just like, the roots need more space. So this is now like putting it just in a larger pot that allows those roots to settle in a different way and expand so much further, so it can build and grow into this just beautiful thing.
Yay. I love that for us.
Likewise.
And one of the things I was telling somebody recently was like I got basically a collaborative partnership with Cured, which you've seen me post about, and I feel like
Love those gummies.
yes, I feel like, and they have these like immune system building capsules too. Rise is what I used, and I was like, I'm so grateful that like I got that at the beginning of the year because like lion's mane and stuff is good for nervous system regulation, and I was like, with all the shifts that I had, thank God I had some like support there.
No, true.
But you even mentioned that this podcast was going to be good for like collaborative efforts and collaborations, generally speaking.
No, exactly. And that's because it has a lot of involvement with like Jupiter and in its just 11th house. And with those like strong aspects, as you mentioned, it does just assist with bringing more like balance, patience, and building out that community. And hopefully, just taking everyone that tunes in where they need to go, whether it's just planting a seed or watering the thoughts that they already know and they just need that extra like push and reminder. It will serve that purpose for the people that it comes across, and just leaving that beautiful just impact.
I love that.
Gotta love Daddy Jupiter.
Yes. Daddy Saturn's another story, but
I
Daddy,
mean,
I know.
a little restraint, a little persistence, a little
Discipline.
discipline. It goes a long way.
It does.
Like,
It does. But I
you
get a
know,
lot.
same.
Yeah,
Y-
those
And
stelliums.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing. But one thing I told my friend when I just had a cat and I was training my cat, which it was a black cat, so black cats are ruled by Saturn.
Today years old.
Today years old, yes. Is I mean, this isn't the best term, but a little trauma goes a long way.
That sounds like some shit Shiana says.
And my cat just at first did not like the harness, did not like the leash, did not want to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
But bit by bit, like just exposing them to that, got them more comfortable and just showed them a level of like freedom they never had before. So sometimes things feel terrible, but they're preparing you for something greater. And I said a little bit. That is the key. A little bit. Nothing crazy, nothing drastic. Not like the park, but
That's fair.
just a little bit of drama.
Just a little bit.
a
A
little
little
bit.
razzle dazzle of it.
Exactly. A little razzle dazzle.
That's fair.
First bite, besties.
So one of the other things that I did was I was sharing with people that I was having this new segment of horoscopes. And I didn't want to like label it as any sort of like we are only going to talk about this part of your astrology, or like other people were like, well, I would want to know about the sex with it. And I was like, I get that too. However, like, let me just leave it open enough and then ask where people wanted more clarity. Because the other thing that I had asked you was like, what lights you up when you talk about these things in people's charts? And like, if I'm having guests on here, I want them talking about the things that light them up, not just like let me, check this off, like just because it's here, like the things that actually light you up that you could talk about for hours. And so you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Literally.
So our first submission, Jilly,
Jilly
has questions
Jilly
about
from Philly,
her.
but not so much. I love that.
What'd you say?
Jilly from Philly, but not so much.
Oh, right. This one's not from Philly.
No.
But she has questions about her community.
Yes. So Jilly baby, Jilly Bean. Sorry, I need to pull up your chart. I do have it, I swear. Okay, so one thing, so Jilly mentioned community, and was it just connecting more so?
Community building, I think, with that
Yeah.
placement.
So Jilly had they want to know more about community building with their Aries and their air, or just Aries ruling their 11th house. So wherever you have Mars ruling, specifically Aries, it kind of gives you this like newfound like just energy. You're kind of approaching things with this this more naive type of mindset, because like in this instance you might not fully understand everything going on or how to do this thing. But also with Aries there, wherever Aries is ruling, you tend to face a lot of aggression
Mm.
unknowingly, and you're just like, what is going on here? Like, what is this? um and I feel like that is a really big piece of information to consider when you're looking at any house Aries rules, because it will make sense why you encounter just certain types of people, or why the people you consider like you like love the most um might be acting just a certain type of way, right? So for Jilly from Philly, not so much. Um, your Mars is in Gemini, ruling this just 11th house. So having Mars in your first house, and you're looking for like how to build community, it'd be really important to kind of find people who are more similar to you, right? People who are just as driven, just as eager to like, people who have that drive for life and just approach things with this more curiosity, and not necessarily like intellectualism, but they they tend to think about things just a bit more. Their actions are more up con- precise, and they're considering what they're doing as they're doing it. And sometimes they do just dive in just head first. And that can also help you, especially if you are currently going through anything that might might be stumping you in that way. Um, so when it comes to building community, I would look at maybe fitness classes, something that is intellectually stimulating and physically active. So maybe like an escape room type of situation, just
Mhm.
go by yourself. Um, don't invest in the stock market. Um, that's just a random note. Um, six.
And I know this isn't on there, but I know this particularly about this person. I do know she's also a 6'2" in human design for context.
Okay.
So I feel like
Is she a
she's
manifester?
no.
No. Okay.
I think I don't remember.
That's real.
Might be generator. Don't quote me.
No. 6'2".
But it's the role
I don't
model
know what she.
hermit. So then I'm
Oh,
like,
the her. Okay. See,
so I'm
I was
like,
like,
I wonder if it's also like she's building that community that like, because that was it for me. Like I wanted to be a part of different communities, but they didn't exist. So it was like, oh, I have to be the one building this one kind of thing. Does that make sense?
yeah, no, I'm absolutely. Potentially they are. I would more so see like quick cycles through things. Like this person is constantly changing, and they have so much like depth and various interests. Like it might be hard to like focus down on one. Like they potentially have like ADHD or something, and they're just like, I want it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
could see that.
especially with their Mars making a sextile, not a major one, very minor, to their Mercury in Leo. So this person, like this is just giving bold action. Like they need bold friends to like meet them where they are, but like lots of different friends. So go where people are like pouring into you and you get to like show off a little
I
bit,
could see that.
and get the recognition you might be wanting and like craving in a way, because you do have a Leo stellium and your Venus is also in Leo, which is essentially your that's your highest degree placement. So when it comes to relationships, you probably have a great relationship just with your siblings, and that might be where you need to start looking, especially more locally, like where your home is. If they still live there, do they still live where they were born or no?
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, so go around town a bit more and look for places that highlight your just interest and frequent those places. Like Aries can be quick to give up because things aren't happening fast enough. Same with Mars in the first house. So like there are two things kind of working against this person, but like when you go out and like frequent places, I would say look for the people somewhat similar to your siblings, like just all the good things you like about them if you have any. If not, your like brothers and sisters, your like cousins and whatnot. Um, and that's kind of where I would point them to like find community and building a community is places where they get to kind of show off, people that are just as bold and gung ho and willing to like live life and who are just motivated and ambitious and just have that drive to match your own in whatever you're doing. And it's not just like you don't need a singular community. Like it's okay to have friends in everything or one friend for just everything. Or not one friend for everything, but one friend in just everything.
Yeah, different like pockets of.
Yeah. Because Gemini rising, babe, you can bring the masses together if you wanted to. But when you go out and meet those friends, you will then be able to like make friend groups from that. Because one thing about a Gemini rising is that's like their super power of like just connecting people who they didn't like people don't necessarily think will connect.
I can see that. Yeah.
And that's a part of Gemini being ruled by or just being represented by the lovers in tarot, that union. And yeah.
Okay.
But also people like you or your siblings that like people that feel like family.
I hope that helps, Jilly. And what you were even saying about like the communities, like several, I think people forget that that's an option. Like we talk about community and community building, but I think people forget like it's not just one that you get to be a part of.
Exactly.
Because I had different pockets in South Carolina, but even here I'm building different pockets. So like I didn't expect to have like a gym community in my life. That was not on my bingo card at all. And then I have like my astrology people community. I have my human design community. I have my, you know what I mean? There's like different pockets of that. And then it's okay to have various options within those.
Literally. And that's why I love the just expression that it takes a community to raise a child, because that extends into your just adulthood. Like it doesn't like you will always need a community there for you. Like you need more than your family or just your partner or your best friend, because not a single person can just cater to just all of your needs. You need to make sure that responsibility is spread out. Not too thin, not too thin now, but just enough to where all of you is covered.
And you feel fulfilled leaving them, not drained.
Fulfilled. But fulfillment,
because
please.
there's a difference.
Please be fulfilled.
Because sometimes we end up in communities that like we just happen, like it's happenstance.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this one drains the fuck out of me. But
You have the right to leave.
yep.
To the left, to the left. It's just take your box and go.
Yeah.
Free yourself.
Yeah.
You always, the best thing about life, best and worst thing, it's in your hands.
It is. It is. Yeah. Yep. There's always a choice.
Exactly.
There's always a choice.
Make the right one.
And that varies from time to time also.
Exactly.
So like, and then we have Latora is your next HO-Roscope, and she has questions about her career.
Yes, Latora.
And I love that people are participating in this because I can just see this being real fun. And I can see.
I can't wait.
I know. Also, I already said to Alex that they were going to be easy to have on as a guest because this is just, we already had a rapport. And it's probably that some phrase that you use that I don't know in astrology, whatever our Cancer.
Synastry?
Yep, that.
Yes.
We have good synastry or some shit. Yeah.
We do. Latora, it was career.
Yes.
Not you just generally career, which is slay. Side note, you have the same birthday as my nephew, which I love. So Latora. So Sagittarius is your 10th house. So when you're generally looking at career, you tend to look at whatever, like just the 2nd, 6th, and 10th houses, right? And these are the money making houses, and yours are all fire signs. So your 2nd house is in Aries, which we kind of just touched on a bit earlier, which is ruled by your 6th house Mars. Okay, so career is not easy for you starting off the bat. You are a very hard worker. Very hard. I know you put in the work, okay? But that's so close. I know that butt was loud.
Thank you.
I know that butt was loud. They were like, oh, my ear.
No, this is me editing it later. So
Yes.
yeah, back up off the mic to prevent me from doing all the work. Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of editing. I'm already loud. Honestly, it was fine when it was far away, but she was like, no, it needs to be close there. And I was like,
it's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. We'll work it
I'm
out.
so sorry, Latora. Let me focus on you. Because this is about you, honey. And okay, so you are a hard worker, but you having Mars in your ruling your 2nd house means you kind of have this hole burned in your pocket, right? You sometimes you're just not the best with money all the time. You're willing to spend money on the things you like. So I would say be mindful. It starts with when you get money, be mindful of your spending habits and be more intentional with that. That does take time. It's not easy, but you can do it. Then connecting this to your Mars in your 6th house, you might have more friction with your coworkers and your daily routine. You're willing to execute it. Like you will have a routine on lock, but when it comes to those just your daily life, even potentially your health, there is friction there. You might have migraines and whatnot, or just something going on, I would say, just in your head, maybe heart issues. So be mindful of that. That's not what you asked about, sorry. That's why I'm like, let me focus.
While you're getting into it though, I want to, because I feel like I have the understanding with the fiery part. When you mention the money, is it because it is fire, so it's in and out quickly?
For Mars, it's not because it's fire, it's because Mars is destructive.
Got it.
So Mars is willing to just spend it.
Got
but
it.
Kind of in this situation, we can say fire and just burn it up.
Got it.
Because Mars is hot. It's hot and dry.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
We're in a
I'm
Mars year right
parched.
now, and look,
No,
look at what the fuck
exactly.
is going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so I went to the aspects to see what exactly your Mars is aspecting and what it's making just things to. So it does trine your Neptune in your 10th house, um, which can make you a bit more like wasteful action, right? You might do these grand things that feel like you're doing something significant, but then potentially not. So you have to be aware of how you're exerting your just your energy, and it's not going to things that don't help what you want to just overall. Um, so the other squares don't. The other two squares are to your Lilith and Chiron, which um these are just asteroids. So just asteroids. Where are these asteroids? Well, one is in your 10th house, Lilith. Um, so when people see you, people probably fall in love with you quickly. Because you do have Venus in your 10th house and Lilith. So people probably see you, and I mean, do you know what they do?
Mm-mm.
Well, if you want to do selling people fantasies, so if you want to work in sales, that could be really good. If you want to do, if you want to sell something else,
Stop that. Okay,
that would
so
be good. No,
spiritual medium, intuitive reader,
oh, okay.
sound healing, meditation, massage, esthetician.
Okay, the esthetician makes sense. Where's your Mercury? Oh, you also had the Venus and Jupiter mutual perception and your Mercury. Oh no, that makes a lot of sense. I would say when it comes, you can stay on that journey, but if you're looking for more like something to keep you afloat while you are working on these other ventures, if they're not faring well presently, um, get get into sales because sales aligns with those things indirectly because you or just learn about sales. I'm just a bit more and learn about the sales life cycle so you're able to really hook your customers on your products and just get them out there more effectively. One thing I tell everyone is marketing just is key. When I started my own business, I did not market. I wasn't marketing nothing, and I was just expecting everything to fall into my lap. And it's like, you have to market. You have to plant the seed of what you like do and put that out there so then people can come to you. So Gianna pulled up that information fairly just easily. So I do assume that you just have it out there for the world to see. But push that, talk about it. Go to places where those things are like more sought after and keep pushing for it. If you do like the sound healing, do I would say that I'm definitely connect with Shiana and see what she has done to like push that. Because you did the sound healing pool thing just at the apartment. She's been doing sound healing here. Also, a virtual services is really good if you want to sell an ebook. Um, but like using your face, going out to network, you got that in the bag. You got the Miss Venus in the 10th house.
Well, I was gonna say, and I know you don't have her Instagram, like you don't know what this person looks like or anything, but Latora, we need to see you. Like I'm looking at your Instagram page, and I don't know if there's maybe you're more active somewhere else in person actually, or on Facebook or whatever. But like You are here to be seen.
You are definitely here to be seen. You are definitely here to be seen, no matter how you feel about yourself. I know just having Mars ruling your second house, excuse me, that can be tougher, right? Because you're confident. You're either like one of the most confident people and just like your shit does not stink, or if you're not that, we need to fix it. Okay, because Aries in the second, we need to fix. You need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the best. And
Mm-hmm.
Venus with Lilith in the 10th house, you are and Neptune. I'm sorry, you're ethereal. Like people will see you and love you, especially if you are doing something virtually. Your online presence will be glorious, especially since only your Neptune is making aspects to the rest of your chart. I do understand why you're in the esoteric things. And then if you even want to do beauty, more so, and helping people find their confidence, that could also work for you because the way you make money is through other people since you do have an eighth house stellium. Other people's resources are your resources, and whatever you gain from that is yours. So put yourself out there, help as many people as you can, the right people, because I'm sure a lot of people just approach you and tell you things. Even take that, like, because I know you got some good stories, especially as an just esthetician. I know you got some good stories.
I mean, that's how I ended up making money with a lot of the things because people just would tell me things, and it's like, actually, let's set up a session for this
Let's set up a session.
because
You can also
my time is valuable.
yes, you can also put it on like Reddit and then make those little videos of like story times, but use different names and everything. That's also a good one. But people would send you their stories and whatnot, so you can tell them. But being online would work. Just anything with you being seen and networking will work well. Um, and anything that allows you to use your ambition, like don't succumb to just anything that tells you no, because no, it truly should never be an answer for you. Like
With
no
fine
is
print.
not the end of it.
With fine print.
With
Always.
fine print. With fine print, yes. Read that twice too.
Yep.
uh but yeah.
Yay.
And I really hope that helped. And if not, y'all can always reach out to me and be like, okay, thank you so much. However, I need a little bit more insight on this aspect of it. And I can do that. Just hit up Naked Astrology.
Yep.
I haven't posted in a bit, but I always answer DMs.
Yeah. And I'll have all your info tagged anyway. So, and we've already talked. It's funny that Alex is talking about being visible because we've had that conversation too. But in saying that,
I have 10,000.
for people that don't know these things, 10th house is
10th house is your legacy. So it's your legacy, your career. It is also your father. And any placements in the 10th house are the most visible typically. There are just exceptions of that. So I kind of base it off, that is generally the case because it's the highest point in your chart or just house in your chart. But if your MC does not fall in your 10th house, because your MC is the highest point in your chart. So anything conjunct that, those are your highest planets. And those are the most visible outwardly. So for me, that's my moon, right? And no matter what I do, people will always see my just emotions and how I'm feeling over everything else. Now, there are some people who cannot because I do have a moon Pluto aspect. So we know how to, but
shut it down.
Shut it down real quick. But if I'm feeling strong emotions, you will know that. Because when I'm happy, I'm happy. You know, when I'm sad,
Mm-hmm.
but that's also the perks and benefits of a Cancer moon is I get to feel all of my feelings and be in those feelings wholly, and then I get to
That makes
next
sense.
feeling or next emotion. So with you, like Venus, I wish I had Venus in the 10th house.
I don't even know where oh no, I think my Venus is in my Venus is in my 7th house. 'Cause
which
we
is
talked
cute too.
It
That's
is.
luxury. Like,
It makes
you know,
sense.
Venus being in those like one above the just horizon is generally like very cutesy. It being anywhere is solid typically, but like 7th and 10th especially are really nice. Because 10th you're just seen, like everyone sees you and will fall in love with you. Like people will want to like engage and work with you and just think you're like a wonderful person. And then just in the 7th house, that attracts a lot of luxury into one's life, a lot of great experiences. And
I can account
what
for
you
that.
bring out of people when it's in the 7th house is those more Venusian aspects. And that is what makes people really want to give those luxurious things to people with Venus in the 7th house is that, because what you're bringing out is that love, that desire, that romance, and all of those great
Aspects.
aspects and themes.
Yep, that makes sense. I'm
And
here
yeah.
for it.
And also the bad. So sometimes they're a bit more lusted after. Sometimes they're like both. It's
Yeah.
actually, someone might think you're being a little siren, especially Miss Venus conjunct Lilith, like in the 10th house. But use that to your benefit. That's also why I said if you want. Oh, you know.
I made a during my birthday we did a group you can make your own perfume situation. And it was on my birthday this past year was on a new moon, which I love that for me too. And when we were making the perfumes, I was like, well, let me set intentions with it because that felt right. And some of the intentions were like magnetism and love and stuff like that. But one of the perfume names that I had, because I had two, one was Ethereal Smoke, very on brand, but the other one, Siren.
Yes. I love that.
That tracks.
That's my favorite. Yes.
Thank you. So I got to ask you, because, you know, I know it's been a while, so maybe people have forgotten, but I do like to ask my guests, even though Alex will be back to co-host with me again. So you may not have to answer this question again, or maybe because it might be switched up next time. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. You know, we can change it up because it's my show and I can do that, right?
Period.
What's your medicine?
My medicine, that is a great question. And I was informed of this question before I came here. However,
they had time to think about it.
I did, and I did not think about it.
Right off the bat.
That is truly a tough question. It's not tough, but it requires a certain level of like thought and awareness. But I would say, since I, you know, am here for astrology, and I think the moon is it's our intrinsic thoughts and how we truly think, even though Mercury rules like our mind and our thought processes, the moon is just how we feel and like what we truly believe about ourselves and the world, right? And for me, like what makes my heart happy is sushi. Sushi, Studio Ghibli.
What did the moon have to do with that?
That's my heart.
The moon? Sushi?
No. So your moon in astrology rules your emotions and your internal world.
Okay.
And like your like feelings and your heart.
Fair.
You know.
How'd we get to sushi?
That's my medicine.
Okay.
Sushi is
Got
sushi,
it.
Studio Ghibli.
Got it.
Though alone time, solitude. Those I feel healed. I feel fulfilled. Especially sushi with a loved one. That, like, I try to get sushi with everybody.
You haven't tried to get sushi with me.
It comes and it goes.
Okay.
Right now, I have not been in a let's go get sushi type of face.
That's fair.
Girl, listen.
Same.
This isn't my podcast, but
Same. No, I mean, not same for that, but no. Just coming out of whatever the fuck. So
no,
here,
this eclipse has
hands. It had
at
hands.
first, I was fine. At first, we started out and we was cool, taking me places I ain't never been. But now you getting comfortable, ain't doing the things you did no more. No,
not a fan. But I'm glad it's over.
It ain't over.
Well, I'm glad the heaviness of the fuckery is like there's
it's
like
just
debris.
No longer just aspecting.
Yeah, there's
harshly.
like debris, to clean up or whatever. But yeah, that one was.
And then Venus is gonna be conjunct the North Node. Venus or Mars?
What does that mean?
It's Venus. That's going to be slay. That's going to be slay. It's going to be cutesy. It will be in Virgo, so that's going to be a little, but a good little time. A good little time overall.
Okay.
Should be a good time.
All right. We need a good time right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be like a nice little. I mean, as long as Virgo is cute and it's not making any harsh aspects to anything in your chart, it's going to be fine. Now, if it is, you might lose some people.
It happens.
And that's okay.
It happens to the best of us.
It's time for growth.
Yep.
Let them go.
That's fair. Let that shit go. Well, thank you for joining me today, especially given this break I had. This was very lovely to have somebody assist me in my welcome back. So
thank you for having me.
Of course.
It was such a pleasure.
Yay.
And I promise we will get sushi soon.
Thank you. We got time because I'm here now.
We will have sushi right in here.
I'm here in Chicago. So
in Chicago.
Yeah.
This is her city.
It is. Alex will obviously be back. So I'll make sure to put the word out there again if people are interested in a mini reading, but you can also reach out to Alex and get your own full reading.
Full reading, tarot reading.
Yeah, obviously it's not just your birth chart. If you got questions about your business, there's options there too.
Tell me about your business, and then I'll tell you about your business.
Thank you for tuning in. And of course, as always, remember to meditate and hydrate. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Who You Callin' Holistic. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. You can find me and all my services on Sheanah.com. That's SHEANAH.